הגברים והנשים שמחים.
Zoom in a bit there. הגברים means the men.
הגברים והנשים שמחים.
והנשים, and written together. The also written as a single word. Women, nashim. Then, shem chaim.
הגברים והנשים שמחים.
Smechim. Happy? Yeah. So, men and the women are happy. So, im there, those suffixes. Yud, name. Here's a keyword here. It means the men, all plural. And the women, definite. So if you're new to the writing, it's read from right to left. Let's look at this very nice model sentence in detail. And this is the modern spoken Hebrew, not the literary language.
הגברים והנשים שמחים.
הגברים. Ve is written on there. I'm going to use a dash to show you what are the meaningful parts. Nashim. So I like to have a single symbol for a single sound as much as possible. So $sign for a sh. So S, but with the tongue tip retracted a little bit from there. Nash, and then a plural im. We use a dot for this boundary. Yeah. Gever, singular here. Change in the stem form. For the word for men, when we pluralize it, it loses a vowel there. Behanashim, conjoined noun phrase. Subject, the men and the women. And then
הגברים והנשים שמחים.
smechim. It's the verby part. So im, a suffix there on a verb. Not smex, the X in phonetic symbols is a ch sound. Smechim means the men and the women are happy.
הוא שמח.
Who means they. Is it he? He, singular. He or it. Sameach is the singular one of this. Same one. Smechim. Sameach. That's singular SG. Happy. Like same X, but sameach with a sequence of vowels. I'm just sort of doing I don't know, that's probably not the official transliteration, just how it strikes the ear.
הוא שמח.
Sameach. Really, it's the lowering of the vowel is probably the effect of the old emphatic ch, 7 sound. But let's do it like that. Capture the sound a little bit. Sameach. Just 3 letters though. The sa, the ma, and then that final ch.
הוא שמח.
He is happy.
הוא שמח. זה עצוב.
Ze, this, zu. That's the initial letter ein. Sad, atzuv. So, kind of a sad face look to ein there. Atzuv. Ze, that. What here?
זה.
This is sad. Weird sound.
אנחנו עצובים. ואתם?
אנחנו עצובים.
אנחנו עצובים. ואתם?
ואתם? אנחנו, we, עצובים, sad plural. Then, ואתם, Atem. You and you, plural.
אנחנו עצובים. ואתם?
Atem. So the at part means you, and m is a pluralizer. Let's put that here. That means and. Atem. And you, plural meaning you. So we are sad. What about you? What do they want here? We sad and you? What about you?
אתם לא עצובים? אתם לא עצובים?
אתם לא עצובים. So you plural, not sad. אתם.
אתם לא עצובים?
אתם or אתם? אתם לא, negative. עצובים, this one. עצובים. The V sound can be spelled two ways, either with the Vav letter, the straight line. A double one of those, actually three ways, yeah. Double that, or with the B letter, that will become a V sound often. The word and, this V is written with that straight line shaped one. The V here, at Atzuvim, the one in the middle, that's written with what's basically a B shape.
הם עצובים, הן עצובות.
הם עצובים, they are sad. And then hen, feminine plural, they are atzuvot. They are sad. They are sad, but with different gender forms here. What we call the masculine plural, probably meaning non-exclusively feminine, and here the feminine plural. They are sad, both with the same English translation, because we don't distinguish in the plural he from she. It's all they. Aten, but it's different in different languages, right? Aten, that's the final noon. Aten smachot. It's that happy one. O etzovot. So the feminine plural endings, right? Are you happy or sad? O, single sound with two letters and written as an independent word.
הילדה עצובה.
Yelda, the half is definite. The Yelda, singular girl. Alright.
הילדה עצובה.
Suva, rhyming with the final A for feminine singular. The girl is sad. He, she, lo, smecha. She is not happy. Yeah, hayeldim, I think. Hayeledim smechim. Boys, or it could be children, are happy, but the not specifically feminine plural. Boys are happy. Or the children.
אתן עצובות?
Aten, you, female plural. Etzuvot, female plural. Are you sad? Are you plural sad?
אני עצוב והן שמחות.
Ani atzuv. I am sad with no ending there. Atzuv, just the bare stem. Vehen.
אני עצוב והן שמחות.
Hen, they, feminine. Smechot, plural feminine. Sad and they are happy. Hagever, the man. So as English does, in Hebrew, subject comes first in modern Hebrew. Gever, and then samech. The unsuffix gets that two-syllable stem shape, is happy. With no other verb, there's no copula like English is. So samech we can think of as the verbal part of the sentence, the comment. The woman is happy. So the woman definite, ha. Singular we haven't seen here. We saw the plural. So when it's underlined like this, Duolingo helpfully gives you Haisha. Yeah. Haisha. So over here on Lexilogos is a real convenient one. Converter I like to use. We can just type with a regular QWERTY keyboard, no modifications, to get the words you want. The woman is happy. Ha Isha. So H-A-E, and then C for Shin, and then a final H. Smecha. That's a S. No, it's a Shin. Ma-cha, the emphatic, and then regular. So it's going to be just letter C, M, capital H, good, yeah. Where the left descender is touching the roof. That's the cha as opposed to ha. Smecha, the feminine ending, lowercase h, and that's all. Got the definite marker for the with an H, just like our word has H in the middle. Hebrew single H. Da. Oh, I got both S letters, the emphatic and the shin, but it graciously let me have the point. Is she? Okay, what's the question initial? Is she? That was Ha'im, right? Ha'im, he. No, because there's an or there, I don't think it's not a yes/no question. It's two options presented. So for she, I will input H-I-A, he. I don't think the aleph is sounded in any way. It's just there to identify the word. And the word for sad will have the feminine ending. Atzuva. So here, how do I get that? Is it a G? No. The ain. J. Okay. Nice. So originally, something like that. J is not used otherwise, so it's available. And then ts. No. What does it want there? Ts. Oh, capital S. There. And zu, and then a B. And our meaning again is she sad singular? Zuva, H. And then to write the word or, I type AU for O. To get the aleph there. Separate word, and then happy smecha. It's going to be C-M. Ch, capital H, lowercase h. Smecha. He. Topic. Is she sad or happy? Another correct solution. Okay, ha'im. Correct. Solution, ha'im, he, atzuva, o smecha. Good to know. Question initial particle. Or a verb. Could be many things. So, welcome back to Language Institute. I'm your verb ally. Our website is here. We are a language school in Dallas, teaching more and more online. And we have the languages all collected here conveniently that we can teach classes. English, Korean, Spanish, Chinese, French, German, Japanese, Portuguese, Italian. And my mission here is to learn everything that Duolingo teaches. Whatever you're most interested in, let me know in the chat. We'll turn to that. I'm here to do it all. So let's take a step over to Italian. It's been a while. Daughter language of Latin, the Romance family. And if I think of it, we'll talk about English words that are related to Italian words that we see. Oops.
Gli uomini pensano.
Gli uomini pensano. They think is the verb at the end. Gli uomini, the men. So the E ending is common for
Uomini.
We see the plural article also
Gli.
as letter I-E. Now, with the noun following, or whatever word
Uomini.
begins with exactly one consonant sound, then it'll be E, il in the singular, E in the plural. If it's zero as
Uomini.
or two consonants together, we see this other form, Yi in the plural. The G just shows that it's a palatal L, it was never a glee or anything. Never a hard G in this combination. The men pensano, think, right? So we have pensive. From related to the word
Uomini.
plural, we have, homicide, homonym. No, not homonym. Hominid, rather.
Uomini.
Creatures. Homonym is something else. Let's see. The homo in Homo sapiens is the nominative form, the human. Gender neutral word. And pensano, we have pensive, meaning thoughtful. Probably some others, coming originally from the verb to weigh.
Arrivano al ristorante.
Plural ending. Ano, in modern Italian.
Arrivano.
Neither syllable of this ending is ever accented, tonic. It's always going to be on the stem before somewhere. Arrivano. Never, it might look like
Arrivano.
arrivano. That will, if it's the verb, it
Arrivano.
will be stressed there. Arrivano.
Arrivano. Arrivano.
The stress, or the most prominent acoustically syllable there, is the second one. Arrivano. A little higher toned and a little longer, I think. And that's they arrive. Al ristorante. This is an interesting word. If you know Spanish or Portuguese or French, you've seen related.
Al.
It's a fusion of to, the, at the. Here with arrive, at works better. And this restaurant, singular. Our word is, English word is for French.
Ristorante.
Loro non pensano.
Loro means they. Non pensano. The non negates the verb. They do not think, or they are not thinking. Loro non pensano.
Noi parliamo.
Speak, are speaking. Spiel. Noi parliamo. So the first plural, the we subject form, inserts an E.
Parliamo.
Ending, rather, begins with an E, always. Almost always.
Lei porta le mie scarpe.
Lei porta, lei, she, feminine. Porta, she carries, or she wears, I think. Le mie, plural, feminine.
Scarpe.
Lui, she wears my shoes.
Noi parliamo.
Noi
Noi parliamo.
are talking.
Prendiamo un giornale.
Prendiamo, we take. So English apprehend has this root. Un giornale, the object. We take a newspaper. Or we get one. Okay. So Latin prehendo.
Prendiamo.
The single syllable root there.
Lui chiede una mela.
Lui chiede. He asks for, right?
Chiede.
Sues for an apple. Louis is he. Orders, he asks for una mela, an apple. With this mela, the word melon is
Mela.
different fruit, of course, but it means, as far as the form of the word, it means big apple. What else is there? I wonder if melanin is from no, that's from a color term. Probably accidental. Chiede.
Chiede.
What is that? Quaiso? So like inquire and question in that root?
Chiede.
Lei porta le mie scarpe.
This word is related to sharp. It's a noun here, it means a shoe. She was wearing, plural, my shoes. Lei porta le mie scarpe. The R is a tongue tip trill sound. R.
Io non metto zucchero nel tè.
Io non metto zucchero nel tè. Fusion word here, into,
Nel.
in the, masculine, in the T. Metto, I put. Put is an adjective verb, it needs three participants, right? Doer, the putter, subject, the thing being put somewhere, and the place. To be a complete thought. And so with metto, mission is really, right? It's, I suppose, mittere, to send in Latin. So transmit, remit, all those guys with the abstract noun mission derived and all of its related words. Zucchero is not from Latin. It comes into Europe later, I think. Probably from Arabic.
Zucchero.
Nel fusion in the T. I don't put sugar into the tea, right? It looks like just into tea,
Te,
but there
nel.
is the word the present, just in a shrunken down form. I don't put sugar in the tea.
Lui chiede una mela.
Lui chiede, he asks for an apple. Lui chiede una mela. Io non metto with this I subject. O at the end of the verb. A very old verb ending.
Arrivano al ristorante.
Arrivano. They arrive al ristorante. Arrivano al ristorante. Io non metto zucchero nel mio caffè.
Gli uomini pensano.
Gli uomini pensano, the men think. What we don't translate. Gli uomini pensano. We speak. Noi parliamo. Parliamo. The noi could be dropped. Optional. Droptional. By dropped we mean like it would be understood without uttering the word because the verb tells us the sufficient information there. They take. That was prendiamo. They take or they get. Prendiano. Prendiano. Prendano. They take. Prendono. Okay. Letter O. Vowel O here. Prendono. They take. Right. Because praehendunt. Language is Italian. Third plural subject. Prendono. They take. Not the a vowel that we saw earlier because this one comes from Latin. Praehend was a consonant stem. Got the ending unt. Gives o. That's too many letters. Prendono. Or not enough. There we go. So I would say in Italian the ending begins there. No. I guess that's the ending. Let's put the same mark there in Latin. Prae being not prea. That one being a prefix. Okay. 3 parts in Latin, 1, 2 here in Italian. So we have English words prehensile and comprehend from this Latin verb. Un panino, a sandwich. Panino, let's put loro there. Loro prendono un panino. Liva says, ciao, come stai? Sta bene, molto bene. Come stai? Should we stay on Italian a bit? I think we should, yes. I'm going to make an executive decision here. So tell me what you're in the mood to see. You may be stumped by.
Noi lasciamo la pasta nel piatto.
Noi lasciamo. So I think relax is related to this one. We let.
Lasciamo. Lasciamo.
Leave, move out of. Leave. Okay,
Noi.
like leave behind. Alright. Noi, we. Leave la pasta, the pasta. And then Italian says in the plate, but we'll say on the plate. Nel fusion of preposition and article, which really all the cool languages are doing.
Loro non credono.
Loro non credono. They come straight from Latin.
Credono.
We have credit, means believe. It's an old compound of heart, cred,
Credono.
and dare, give. To give heart to something, to someone, is to trust them. Loro, they do not believe, but it's not said whom they do not. Which is grammatical in English, depending on if the meaning is understood, you can leave it out. Noi lasciamo. Amo form for we subject. La pasta nel piatto means we leave.
Come divento un uomo?
Bento. Okay, Levi says, did Italy get noodles from China? Yeah, Marco Polo. That's my understanding. I'm not much of a historian. Yeah, thank you. I like to think it's always an option to say I do not know if I do not know. Or plead the fifth. Hope it would be okay and that you wouldn't storm out offended or something. Divento is a new verb. Come divento un uomo. How, and I think it's like French devenir, come into being, to become. Divento.
Divento.
And it's I subject. So the T is part of the stem now. The root comes from venire, the end final verb stem in Latin. No, actually vowel final, but the root divento has picked up some extra sounds into the root, is what I'm saying. It looks like a participle, maybe. How do I become a man? Come
Come divento un uomo?
Vento. So it sounds like the word 20 as well. No, venti. Come.
Divento.
So D is the prepositional word. D from coming is the
Un.
structure, the meaningful structure of diventare. What's that? To become. So for this, Google Translate. Italian happens to be right there. To become, the infinitive. Diventare. So venire, an I verb of Latin, letter I, not the I. How do I become a man?
Capisci la ricetta.
Capisci means you understand, with no pronoun. La ricetta, the recipe. The directions, maybe. Recipe is related. La ricetta, just a different form. Participle.
Ricetta.
Come divento un uomo?
Come.
Come divento un uomo?
Spanish says como, which is more close to the Latin ancestor quomodo. And Italian has put the more common adverbial ending e at the end.
Come divento un uomo?
Become
Un uomo.
Homo is the homo of Homo sapiens, human being. How do I become a man?
Lei sente l'anatra.
She feels sette. Anatra's a duck, right? The duck
Anatra. Sente.
hears or feels like. She hears the duck. Okay. To sense, to perceive. Got it. So sentient, which is a term that means having a mind and having feelings. One of those or both. She perceives, she hears. L'anatra, definite. The duck.
L'animale rimane nello zoo.
Remains is our related form from French. The animal, singular. The article tells me that. I think it would be animali in the plural. Animale, rimane, remains, stays. Nello zoo, fusion in the zoo.
Loro non credono.
They do not believe, loro non credono.
Lui capisce le donne.
Capisce, not capisci, but capisce, he understands. The ladies. Women, okay.
Dove tenete il pane?
Dove tenete il pane? Where do you have the bread? Pane. So we have the word pantry related from that pane now. Tenete.
Dove tenete il pane?
Tenete, along a verb.
Tenete.
Same as Latin, right? Tenere, teneo. Tenete. So very conservative there in the
Tenete. Tenete. Tenete.
stress there in the word. Il pane. Okay, from tenete, related to that, English has words like tenuous, maintain, that kind of stuff, maintenance. Retain, abstain, pertain, all the tains, all the good tains are in this family.
Tenete.
Entertain, probably.
Lei sente l'anatra.
By the way, Levi, there's a good calc, I think, to the word entertain. Do you know the German equivalent? And Levi's got a question. D for Deutsch, onegaishimasu. It starts with a U. Why does French have a nasal on that word? Comment? Not from quomodo? A nice QV. Tis indeed. That's a great question. Where does the French mot adverbial come from? Who knows? I mean, I think it is known. There's a good explanation for it. Think of what's related to it. So FR for French. So, not bonnement, that doesn't exist, but lentement. Two meaningful parts there. Actually, three. If I say meaningful parts. Lente, the feminine form of slow, lent. And then ment makes it adverbial. So it's like our word slowly, with a special suffix put on an adjective stem to give you a derived adverb. Lentement. What's related to that, and where does it come from? Lei sente l'anatra. She hears the duck. Lei sente l'anatra.
Lui capisce le donne.
And women. Definite plural, though, in Italian. Lui capisce le donne.
Cosa credi?
Cosa, originally meaning thing, but now meaning what? And credi, do you believe? Cosa credi?
Il caffè diventa dolce.
The third singular becomes sweet. Il caffè diventa dolce.
L'animale rimane nello zoo.
Let's echo in.
Animale, animale, animale.
That's like the double L
Nello zoo.
up there at the end. Very cool. And where is it? L'animale rimane nello zoo.
Dove tenete il pane?
By the way, nello, that alternate instead of nel, because of the number of consonant sounds that in. So it's a single letter, but it's a double consonant sound. Tenete, dove tenete, where do you keep the bread? Dove tenete il pane?
Lui capisce le donne.
Understands women. Okay, the says unterhalten, very good. So the tenere, a good calc. Halten, to hold. Infinitive. And the ma is adverbializing. Mente in what language there? Yes. And where does it come from? Latinally. What is its latitude, please? Alright, I would like to draw some characters. I'll do some Chinese. I was enjoying that the last time I did it. On this QHanzi page, QHANZI.com. In this blue field here, use your mouse to trace out the character. So today we did ZH Zhongwen for Chinese. So where does this meant to come from, and where does the English li come from? So our word li, our ending rather, not a word by itself, but a meaningful suffix. There's a few suffixes, different functions, but the one that derives from an adjective. An adverb comes from an Old English word for body, leech. So slowly, etymologically, is like a compound meaning with a, or a phrase, it's a fused together phrase, with a slow body. So the form li long there, ch. Ch was the stem, you could have e or an endings there. Li ch would be the adverbial. So like is related to. Mente for mind. You said it already. I'm sorry, I overlooked it. Exactly. Mente. Spanish has for the ma of French. Mente in español, es. Oh, this is now out of place. English li, let's put that. So, mentem. English says with a slow body. The Latin languages, the Romance languages, they say with a slow mind. Miss mente actually, in this case, would have been ablative for instrumental, using your mind by means of such a mind, I do believe. And the Latin form would have been mente. And then this comment that got us down this path here, French preserves comme, meaning as, so the unaccented como of Spanish. But for how, that meaning it's got a new adverbial suffix slapped on there. Como is the question word, how. Como, cum, rather, means from quomodo, I think. Not sure. Hard to really know there. Cum looks like it means as. Looks like como. Latitude is 41.9 degrees north. word is means. That's the infinitive, the infinitive of the noun, the nominative singular, right? What's the stem? Let's look at that paradigm. So much. Let's do a Latin later on too. L here for Latin. We've got mens rea, the guilty mind. Mentem. Let's put, what will this be? Dative next. Okay, hold on. The traditional order is actually quite useful. It gives a nice melody. Genitive next, mentis. So nominative on top. Yeah, I might as well label it. Mentem is the accusative. So we would learn NGT apple, ablative. In that order, then you get mentis, menti with a consonant stem. Oop, I shouldn't give too much away. Mente. So you get a thing is. For the next form below it, just subtract the final vowel. You get a thing M, accusative. And for the thing below it, delete the final consonant. I should have said it above it. Mens, mentis, menti, mente, mente. Think menti. So what happened with mens? What's the stem? Something's going on. Give us something with a lot of writing, please. Maybe that comes at higher levels. I'm doing everything till level 1, just to cover it.
跑
To run, jog.
泳
Get to see them at least. Yong, to swim. Let's review the input there. E, of course, for water on the left. Then it's I. N for the bent one, and then water below. So, like eine. E-I-N-E writes the swimming Yong. And so, not there. We're going to center it in this blue field. We write it by mouse. E-R, san. Those are the 3 drops of water, then another dot on top. Nice long doubly hooked stroke within which we do the water. With those strokes on either side. Case mnemonic we were given is no good date, acts abnormal. No good date. That's good advice, yeah. Acts abnormal. I love it. Thank you. For the order of cases. Acts. Ac for accusative. Ab for ablative. Both beginning with A next to each other, right? It's a good one for mnemonic. Like I say, I view genitive as being really on a different level from the other cases in some sense, and the vocative is there too. In this case, it would just be like the nominative is, and would not be too terribly useful. O mind. Speaking to a mind.
跑
In another noun class, there's a distinct form for vocative singular. It's worth knowing.
步
O is the step. Input here, lovely character, I think. 2 feet, I think, is what it depicts, or like a footprint. So on top, it's YM, and sometimes forgets what it's doing. And then below, it's got FH. Yes. Just not meant to be. Okay. Let's try the green variant. It's going to be YH for boop. There we go, much better. The very first one that pops up. Oh, nice. So let's do it by hand. It's got Y stroke, the basic one, an L, which is omitted, an M, straight line. Then it has this center hooked one, short stroke there, so that's an N stroke, an H stroke. Oh, but we don't regard it that way. No, it's treated as fire there. I think, can't confirm. It ends in this the pink one there, that's an H. That's all we need for this system. The first one and the last. And that's this step.
上个星期三我和女朋友跑步。
Went jogging.
不，
女朋友, girlfriend, 和 with that person, and or with. 我
和
gotta construct what the core meaning of this sentence is. The word order is a bit different from ours. And then 星期三 means third day of the week, Wednesday. 上个 means the preceding one, last Wednesday. I ran with my girlfriend. What do you want me to say it? Running. 泳 swimming.
泳
明天晚上我想去游泳。
明天晚上我想去游泳. What to go swimming? Go swim in Chinese also. We'll put an ing there. There's nothing like that in Chinese. These endings, little words like to, have no equivalent. Must be dropped. Otherwise, the structure, the word order is very often quite close to English. So, and then it's 明天晚上, tomorrow night, tomorrow evening. 我想去.
他游泳游得很快，跑步跑得很慢。
It's that repeated verb construction. We're going to comment on the performance of a thing. 游泳, we've got this 游, and that's felt to be the verbal core of the thing. That's picked out and repeated, 游的, and given a de to state a judgment on it. It attained
很
very fast. It attained high speed. So we can translate, he swims very fast. This is this makes me take back my words a second ago. Doesn't have a word like to, it has this other example particle giving you a specific meaning of a construction or a set of meanings. The de is a very flexible, very powerful word. He swims, and here we see an important meaning. He swims, and his swimming attained great speed. Very fast. There's one way to derive that meaning from the literal string of words that you got, and then 跑步, to jog, to run steps, like a verb object. 跑的, so 跑is felt as the verb. The running attained 很慢, great slowness. And swim and runs slow. So we don't really need to put very there for 很. It's just on the affirmative side of the scale. Swims fast and runs slow. I'm dropping my lees. Okay, now let's. 步 means a step, basically a noun, a pace.
步
Sounds like the negative word too.
你喜欢游泳吗？
你喜欢游泳? That's the core of it. You liking swimming, and the ma makes it a yes or no question. So we'll say, do you like? And we'll put that in there.
早上我跑了30分钟的步。
So if you've never thought about it,
中
what does the English ing suffix really do in a case like that? What meaning or information does it convey? 早上, morning, given the time of the action, 我跑了30分钟的步. So the construction is 跑步, to run steps or go running. And everything in between that verb and really a pseudo object, I suppose it's not a thing that's
步
brought into being by the
我跑
That's telling us time and aspect. I ran for 30 minutes this morning. So, like here it's got the time part first as the topic. As for the morning, I ran complete action 30
分
minutes of time. That much is steps. To go word for word. Alright, speaking of steps, I'll return shortly and leave you in the hands of my close associate. Verano Anam. Yes. Dobre. Good
Rano.
morning. Rano morning. Have a nice weekend. Dobre. Hezký weekend. Hezký weekend. Hezký accent marks that it's long. Same on the E. Weekend. I think neuter. Hezký.
Dobré odpoledne.
Dobré odpoledne. Good afternoon. Odpoledne. Have a nice week. Dobrý long. So this is probably an accusative. Weekend, because it's the thing that you're wishing the person. Being wished. Dobrý weekend. Hezký. Nice weekend. Hezký. Nice. Where were we? But
半步跑
run. We've got 张,
张
the name, among other things. And 有.
勇。你星期几去跑步？
星期几去跑步。星期几 means weekday, how many, basically. What day of the week do you go running? So note that in an English construction, a sequence of verbs like go, running, one of them is going to be an inflected verb. In this case, it's actually the do, which is a zero inflection on it. But went running with this second part, second meaningful verb in a non-verb, a non-finite verb form, really an adjective. Running was the manner in which they went. Since Chinese doesn't have an ing to add to turn something into a noun or an adjective, go running. It's hard to say which is really the central verbal part and which one is modifying it. There's great diversity in those. Like serial verbs would be one way to call verbal compounds.
勇树是跑
Very nice character, by the way. For the foot, R, M. Oh, duh. R, M. And then for the right part, P, R, U. How. Yeah, foot on the left. The foot on its own is R, Y, O. This. We have the combining form on the left side of the character. The phonetic part is P-R-U. There.
步。我的妹妹每天晚上跑步。
May, every, right after little sister.
妹，
Three Mays.
我的妹妹每天晚上跑步。
Tones. May, falling first, neutral, then May is third tone. 每天晚上, every evening. 跑步 goes running. And the topic, or the doer of the action, is my little sister, younger sister. 每天晚上跑步. Tonally, kind of a nice rhythm. It's third, first, third. Neutral or fourth, third, fourth.
跑，
Regular recurrence of third tones there. Every night. Forgot a verb.
上个星期三我和女朋友跑步。
星期三.
上个星期三我和女朋友跑步。
Now comes the fun part. Get to enter it.
上个星期三我和女朋友跑步。
Last Wednesday is the first part. I'm going to retrieve. Sha. So, previous in time, prior, is in the Chinese time metaphor upward. And later in time is downward, just like you would write characters downward on the page. Whatever was done first is above. What comes in future is below you. So that's why it's upper week for last week. Sha. What I'm doing with this Q Hanzi is just writing out the character as I would by hand, and it retrieves digital forms of the character I want. Digital. G is the next, 3 strokes, an O shape and an L shape. There it is. I click it and it puts the thing in the box directly. And then we clear and go to the next. 上个星期三. So the word for star, it's got this A shape for sun on top. H. Then Q shape. M for sheng, the phonetic. Xing, that's the first part of the word for week. Qi, as is T, M, M. The T is split there, by the way. That brown stroke belongs to the T figure, and then a C. And for the meaning part, has a moon over here, a B figure. This is Qi for a period of time. Xing Qi San, the third day of the week, Wednesday. 上个星期三，
上个星期三我和女朋友跑步。
我和女朋友跑步。我 is an H, then a Q, a handy combination of strokes there, and then I. H, Q, I for the spear tip weapon there. I with girlfriend. That's what we're saying. 和 for with. It's got H, D for the grain. R for the mouth. 和女の一朋友 is B, B. The woman one, by the way, is letter V in the Chinese system. And this word for friend, this part, B, B. Repeated figure. 朋友 Yo, friend is K, and these two E. 朋友. Just copy this, do it in chunks.
上个星期三我和女朋友跑步。
Just the verb object phrase. 跑 written with the foot. R, Y, L, M. And then it's a P. That's the very end of the heart, those last 2 strokes. Levi says, is the time metaphor related to why writing was vertical? Maybe not so much why, but how. And we in Roman skip to have a horizontal forward and backward time metaphor. Yep. Well, we talk about it in linguistics a lot. To the sound to the left in the word. So the right figure after that P stroke in purple there, it's an R figure that you end up with, mouth, and then U for the final. R M P R U. 跑 and 步 Y L M. Then that's an N stroke. What is that? An H and a big H. 跑步 to go for a run. And just check it one more time.
上个星期三我和女朋友跑步。
Very robotic recitation there with equally spaced syllables. Not a good model to emulate for the sentence, but very clear on each individual syllable. Here's how it sounds.
上个星期三我和女朋友跑步。
So to help you intone right to the extent that I'm not a native speaker, of course, but what will help to phrase things and string them together in a good rhythm is recognizing what are phrases, which sets of words belong with each other. It's a very important thing to know for decoding written and listened to sentences, as well as producing. And a real simple scheme for doing that for Chinese is to say that you've basically got three categories of words. You've got your nouns, and you got your verbs, and then pretty much everything else. Smaller classes which do their own special thing, like the numerals and measure words, very well defined. But 和, like this one I have highlighted here, can mean and it can mean with. But if you think of it as basically a verb in harmony, to be in harmony with someone, that unites many meanings of the thing and its compounds. And you could regard this, a case like this, 和女朋友, as a verb-object phrase, in a sense, if you like. 跑步, and then really sentences break down into sort of verb-object or verb-complement sequences after an initial topic is named. So here the topic, last Wednesday, I, with girlfriend, went for a run.
每天他喜欢跑半个小时的步。
每天 every day 他喜欢跑半个小时的步，半个小时的步。The steps
小
is what she runs every day. 每天 she runs for half an hour. The time part, she likes to run. I forgot the 喜欢. That's true. She likes to run. Not just that she runs, different meaning, but that she likes to. Note that English inflects one verb there, likes, and then puts run in the infinitive with to run. Chinese doesn't have those little steps, those suffixes or unstressed words that go with it, for the most part. It has the, several the flavors, and one or two other things. And so the time part, the length of time spent engaged in the activity is sandwiched here
半跑 步
run and step.
今天他游了1个小时的泳。
今天他游了1个小时的泳。游泳 treated also as a verb object expression. To swim a swim. So he swam
了
1 hour's swimming today. Say he swam for 1 hour today. This word 时 traditional shape has an extra component that added to this shape, AGDI. 时 referring to time. Was at an earlier stage a 2-hour period of the day. The day was divided into 12 of these. So our hour, O-U-R, hour, H-O-U-R, unit of time, is a small one of those. 小时, that compound means a 60-minute hour.
我们每天游半个小时的泳。
半个小时 is half of that. 我们每天游半个小时的泳. We swim a 30-minute swim, something. If we were to be more literal, we swim half an hour every day.
我的妹妹每天晚上跑步。
My little sister, my younger sister, runs every night. 跑步.
每天他喜欢跑半个小时的步。
每天 every day 他 she 喜欢 likes to run 半个小时的步 for half an hour. So a little bit heavy retrieving the characters this way, but a nice workout. So I think I'll split it up mostly is traditional forms in these graphic lookup windows using the QWERTY keys, and simplified ones in this. That's what it's designed for. So real quick on simplification, some of them seem pretty arbitrary, but this one for ge makes sense, OWJR, when you know that there was also a bamboo variant, so HWJR, with the same range or some overlapping meaning, also pronounced ge, meaning individual or size, stature. Those are meanings associated with it. And so this triangle or arrow-shaped ge comes from a singling, a dropping of half of the jewel, the bamboo on top. In answer to your question several days ago about, is it two things when we write this 竹子? That's the H component, the bamboo. It's always two things together, except in this instance. This is a simplification of that figure. Alright. What are people interested in? Do let me know. Let's see, what's something we haven't touched in a long time? The H's, High Valyrian, Hungarian, Hawaiian, and Romanian. But I mentioned Latin, so let me do that. Let's flatten some Latin here. So you'll recognize a lot if you know any of the Romance languages. In the verbs, the endings are very recognizable, I think. The nouns have more forms, but we're here to work through it if there's any questions. Bed lectus. Cena, C was in classical Latin always a k sound. Later became a cena in Italian. Other sounds in other languages. Prandium is a meal, breakfast. Lectus. Lunch is prandium. Cena, dinner.
Miles prandium emit.
Emit, he sells. Miles, the soldier. Emit buys. Lunch. Prandium. Dinner. Cena.
Livia quatuor lectos havet.
Livia, the subject. The noun. Letto in Italian. Va bene. Molto bene. Lectus. What do we have in English from that? I suppose it's related to the verb lie and its causative lay. But other than that, I don't know of any borrowings into English of this one. Quatuor, we have quartet and quaternary from this numeral 4. 4 is related. Livia quatuor lectos, 4 beds, habet, she has. A placet, it's going to be a singular form. Placet, the verb tells that, so prandium, with that ending, nominative, singular. That's the subject. Food, ae, to him, placet, is pleasing. Even though it means to buy, it looks like the English word emit. It looks precisely like that. And emit is a mitto when we did Italian. That's emit is a derivative of that. E outward and mit, the root of sending. Noun derivative emission. Sending out is what the compound means.
Milites prandia sana emunt.
So healthy sana lunches, they buy them. Soldiers buy, verb at the end is a good word order, but there was a lot of freedom in Latin for that. Prandia sana, noun, adjective, healthy, dinners, lunches, prandia.
Lecti non sunt in foro.
Beds are not in foro, ablative, in the market. Lecti, plural. Non sunt, they are not, plural. In foro.
Coqui canas coquunt.
Cooks, cook, noun and verb. Kenas, dinner. Kena,
Cena mihi placet.
to me it is pleasing. Mihi is dative. Which means I like the dinner. Pleasing.
Prandium ei placet.
Lunch is pleasing to him. He likes
Vinum tibi placet.
wine is pleasing to you. Like
Lectus tibi placet.
the bed is pleasing to thee. You like a bed. Vinum tibi, dative. Placet
Placetne tibi.
is it pleasing to you? The ne appended to the first word for a yes/no question. So not a separate word in Latin. Do you like it? We would say in English. There is no it though.
Placetne cena tibi.
Placet ne, that enclitic. Kena tibi. Does food please you?
Cana vinum habet.
Dinner has wine.
Milites prandia sana emunt.
Soldiers emunt by healthy sana lunches. There it is.
Cliens eius in sepulchro est.
Eius, his customer, client, is in the cemetery, sepulcro, the grave.
Ego salutationem facio.
I do the salutation means I visit a patron. It is I who visit the patron. Seems a bit odd to say ego.
Patronum visitamus.
We visit, verb last, patronum, the big daddy, the patron.
Ego paedagogum in urbe visito.
Greek compound, object and verb, child, leader, educator, tutor. So ego, subject form, and visito, I visit. Object is the teacher, and the place in urbe, in the city. That's a dative. That's an ablative, as we saw earlier. The ending. Visit the tutor in the city. Well, may he toot.
In urbe non bene dormio.
Dormio, I sleep, and non dormio, I don't sleep bene well, in urbe, in the city.
Paedagogos non aedificia construit.
Child rearer does not build, non construit aedificia buildings. The tutor does not build buildings. First object first, then verb.
In taberna Marcum visitas.
In the inn, you visit Marcus. Marcum, the object. In the shop, taberna.
In taberna non dormis.
Dormis, you sleep, but negated here. You don't sleep in the shop.
Clientes sunt in taberna.
Clients since this one's not transitive, that's not an object that it's with. But this
In
one,
taberna non dormis.
sunt, esse used of location as well as existence.
In taberna non dormis.
Non dormis, you do not sleep.
Clientes in taberna dormiunt.
Clients dormiunt, sleep in the inn.
Paedagogi dormiunt.
Tutors sleep.
Clientes salutationes faciunt.
Clients visit the patron.
Patronos cum paedagogo est.
Ablative here, object of cum meaning with the tutor. The patron is, verb last, with the tutor.
Cliens patronum visitat.
Client, subject, visits, the verb. Patronum, object, the patron.
Cliens salutationem facit.
The client visits the patron.
Patronum in foro visito.
I visit the patron in the market.
Cliens eius in sepulchro est.
Cliens eius, his client, in sepulchro est, is in the grave.
Ego paedagogum in urbe visito.
I visit the tutor in the city.
Cena nostra mihi plac.
Never mind. How are you going to leave, by the way? 14th with 821.
蓝
Color blue. It's a simplified form. It's got bamboo on top, speaking of which. And then an S. SBT. SIT. Yeah, HSIT. Because it's 2 plus 3, the H for the top one. We got the S shape. That's a dot there. And then the BT for the dish below. We're going to do the last part, the T. Since it's not contained. Line. Oh, no, it doesn't mean blue, it means a basket. When it's got bamboo, it's a basket. If it's got grass, S-I-T, T-S-I-T, this one means the color blue, indigo. Here we're dealing with a basket. It sounded like this.
足
Zu means to be enough, sufficient, or it means a foot. Zu,
足打
to hit.
球
Qiu is a ball. Da,
打
of course, written with the hand. Q, M going across, and then that's a tipped end stroke there. Da. Levi says, almost looks like 3 bamboo on this line instead of the usual 2. Very astute. Yes, let's look at it again. Bamboo on top, S-I-T. Let's get nice and close. But it looks like bamboo there, middle right, but is not quite that. The lower stroke belongs to, it was sort of dislocated. Do you know this figure, Levi? Would be an HBT input. The stroke there is broken off from this introductory stroke here on this one. And then in this character, you have the combining form SS Oh, phooey. Anyway, what do you know about this one that's in the field? And now I'm trying to talk about... It's got the Chun, the ministership, and then an O variant there with Pin. So the point here is to take away those three R's, and this is a single component. We have it there. So the top two strokes on the right there, oh, sorry, it's so small. What that is, actually, we can go straight there. So Chun on the left, and then it's Ren. This is Wo, to lie down, which is now simplified with a Bu on the right instead. But that's a unit here.
T
T is to kick.
每星期五我踢2个小时的足球。
T is to kick. Soccer ball is to play soccer. And 2 hours of it. 我踢2个小时的足球。Play soccer for 2 hours. 每个星期五 every Friday.
T 我的哥哥打篮球打得不错。
篮球 is basketball. This is falsely segregated.
篮
The wrong ones are highlighted. It should be these.
球
This and the preceding.
球
球, basketball is a calc. 打, we repeat the verb.
打错
Give a comment on it. So my elder brother, topic. My big brother for short. 打篮球, maybe also a topic. As for playing basketball, 打得不错 is playing attains not bad. Means he plays basketball well. 我的哥哥打篮球打得不错. That's all run together, I think, from the repeated verb through the end. You can't really pause anywhere along there. And Levi says, I know the striped thing without the initial H stroke. Does that Minister Chun look like a brick wall? It does indeed, yeah. The staggered look of it. Okay, let's break it down. Let's leave it up there. This S, oh, phooey. I can write it by hand, of course, too, but it's... Alright, so it shall be. The minister shape is the one on the left here. Looks like a brick wall. 1, 2, 3, 4. So really, we're very limited in the directions we go with the brush. Try to keep it as much as possible rightward and downward. That's all we do for this whole figure. And then an L shape ends it. The input is S for the outer one. L, S, L. And the other thing was, without the initial H stroke. Let's look at those. This is a B, and then below that a T figure. This is Min for dish. And with the dot in it, that first one is xue, which means blood. It's a drop of liquid in the dish, namely blood. We just see that little splash of it. So that one is written H, B, H and the initial of B are a single action. And then T. 血 我的哥哥 yeah, we got that. Yeah. Okay, 球 for the ball.
球
The Wang on the left really stands for jade. It's a jade ball. When the character was coined. 球 phonetic. So that will be input. MG. MG for the jade. Unbelievable. Let's do it by hand. That's what I came to do anyway. I'll just call out the components as we go. MG, what are we doing? 球. That's for jade on the left. We just don't have a dot like in yu. But that's the meaning. And then CJ will write this upper dot next. I, then J for this region, and then E. MGIJE. Alright, let's switch over to the green window. Begins with M, ends with E. So we write me, and it's the very first one. How lovely. 2 keystrokes, any character. Can't beat that. I thought I was enthused about the basic 长节. Super enthused about the express one. 足
足、篮、
打
打、球、踢、
篮
篮、足、
foot 打
打、球、
Q is a chi sound.
篮、
踢
踢。
你现在想不想打篮球？
Okay, when you see that
想
reduplication with negative in the middle, want to or not want to, 打篮球 play basketball, literally hit basketball. Do you want to play basketball now? Is there two? It's you now, 现在 want or not want, 想不想 play basketball, 打篮球你现在想不想打篮球 Would you like to play basketball? Killing me.
每星期五我踢2个小时的足球。
每星期五 Go nice and slow. May, every, is written with O on top of a W enclosure, written at this angle. And then it writes Y for these two. So O, W, Y for these two. And then I don't think there's really even room for the I. How does this one do it? O-I? Yeah, O-I. So just top to bottom, O-W, Y for those two, and I for the last dot. 每天 what was it?
每星期五我踢2个小时的足球。
每星期五 every Friday. Alright, we got our character. Where 星 for star is an A component on top. H, Q, and then M. 星 T, we write this T figure. It's got unwritten M's in between. Ends with a C. And on the right, a B, moon shape. Is Qi for the week word, 星期五, the 5th day of the week. M, D, M. Oh my goodness. Nope. Something happened. We lost a couple. Alright. Good. 我每天
每星期五我踢2个小时的足球。
星期五 Tell you what, let me get it over here. 星期 starts with A, M, and then T, B. 每星期五
每星期五我踢2个小时的足球。
Soccer for 2 hours. 我 to the end now. So 我 H, Q, and shape I. 我 T has the foot, and R, unwritten Y, L, written M. And then on the right, it's the E, chameleon-y one. A on top of P, and then a single H for these two. T, 2个小时的 was it?
每星期五我踢2个小时的足球。
2个小时的足球 T we got and then 2 hours worth of soccer. 2 we write an M, next a B enclosure, and then 2 O shapes within. 2个1 2 3 that's an OL combo. 2个小 oops N flanked by C 小 10 we drop the earth from it, we just write an A, and then the inch shape DI. Then a structural particle 的 白少的 white on the left, spoon on the right. 足球 for soccer. It's an R figure Y O. And finally 球 the ball. M G on the left. I comes last. J region up top. E below. I J E. So 每星期五我踢2个小时的足球。
每星期五我踢2个小时的足球。
That is right. So this final particle "the" here at the end of its phrase is giving extra information about the following noun. As for soccer, it was 2 hours of it. And that's what I kicked. The verb governing that noun is out front.
周末我和爸爸踢足球。
Time word first. In the weekend, 我和爸爸 I with father 踢足球 played soccer. Soccer with my dad on the weekends.
谁踢足球踢得最好？
Okay, a repeated verb, right? Yeah, 踢足球 to kick football. Subject is 谁 asking who. 踢足球 is our topic. Who plays soccer? Then we repeat the core verb there, 足的 who's kicking, attained 最好 the best. In English, we can just put that directly there. Play soccer the best. So it's who
谁踢
soccer
踢
kick attain
得？
most good.
昨天下午我和老师打篮球。
昨天下午 yesterday afternoon 我和老师打篮球 I with the teacher played basketball. With teacher yesterday afternoon.
你现在想不想打篮球？
你现在想不想打篮球 Would you like to? That's what I wanted. Play basketball now. No. Let's do a bit of Yiddish. Darf means need. The car. Der Auto. German das Auto. Now the glass, das Glas. Or is it long? Glad. Oh, it's a z at the end. Dos glos. Dos glos is, I think, how it will sound. With O shown by the T-shaped mark. Very small there. A little better.
Dan auto is dart.
Dan Auto, your car, is dort, is there. Not do, but dort. Glasses. Die Brillen. Sort of suffix. So I think, right? Maybe Yiddish treats it as a plural too, whereas in Standard German, die Brille singular for the whole piece. I think everyone knows the German Das Auto from Volkswagen. Oh, really? Was that part of their ad? I was not aware of that, so I would be the one person on earth who's an exception. Back in, I think, early 90s or late 80s, the VW US ad campaign was built around this word. Tell me what you make of it if you've heard it before. Fahrvergnügen, there in the chat. Written with U umlaut, of course. Fahrvergnügen. What does it mean to you? Alright, now, nu on far.
Vos.
What is going on here? And why? Nu on far vos. Nu in far vos.
Ich bin weg.
Ich bin aweg. I am away. Aweg, very close to our away.
Yossi is weg. Yossi is weg.
Favorite name is means
Is
aweg, away.
Avec.
With double U, aweg. And a Q, Hebrew Q letter for the final consonant. German writes Weg with the noun, Weg with a G, and also Weg, the adverb. Okay, Levi says, I have heard it before. Most Americans cannot pronounce it if they don't know the German. Pleasure of driving, yeah. Vergnügen is really a calque with the root genug. Genügen, it can be a verb or a noun. It's a verb, it's reflexive. But the root that it's built on is satis, enough. Means Latin, satisfy, satisfaction. Vergnügen, so the satisfaction from driving, that's right. I think it was, well, yeah, whenever it was a little before, like a year or two, a few years before you were born. Still echoing through the language decades later. Avec. Like, oh, good eye, yeah. Like that romanization, very stylish. Also for avec. It sounds just like French A-V-E-C. Avec means with, and Yiddish means the opposite, away.
a Glas Wasser, bitte.
Blues, voiced. So German has Gläser in the plural, voiced.
Blues.
Just the one underlined form.
A Glas Wasser, bitte.
Wasser, a cup of water, please.
Ich trinke a Glas Wasser.
Ich drink a Glas Wasser. A cup of water.
De brillen zijn een mana.
The brillen, the glasses, Zennen meine are mine. Reading glasses.
Wer is weg?
Wer is away? Who is away?
Niet in.
What do you think of get away with avec? Nice. Most delightful. Yeah. You get both meanings in a phrase. Yiddish avec in a way, and with is French avec. Oh, what was I going to say?
Niet in.
Ni being new, und meaning now what? So what now? So what?
Nee.
And then, so then. Oh, and then we'll do, yeah. Please. Suspenseful. Oh, that word away and avec. What do you make of that prefix? What are these components? Prefix. Yeah, I suppose it's a prefix. There's no let's carry on with that. But English has really piece for piece, I think, the very same thing. Away. What is the first sound in English. We know that I'm saying it's a morpheme because we also have the noun way. Wayfarer.
Vi zijn meine Brillen.
Okay, it's a V, meaning where. These three parallel.
V.
Zennen are meine Brillen. Where are my eyeglasses?
Hast die Brillen?
Hast die Brillen? Do you have glasses?
Wie ist mein Glas?
V, meaning where, is mein Glas. Where's my glass? Cup. So, and what? Ni in?
In.
Your car, die dein Auto. Alright, we need a Yiddish keyboard. So, D capital A, I think, N. Auto. A, U, T. The emphatic, good. O. Auto, I think, is over there, dort. So, I need the unaccented aleph, which I'm just going to click for. Is dort. Yeah. D-O-R-T. Dein Auto is dort. Dein Auto is dort. Doesn't like my... Oh, I used the wrong diphthong. Ah, we. Missing a letter. So, and what? A Zoe. Ni.
Nee.
In vos.
In. Was.
Wouldn't be Latin towards at, yeah, because it's Germanic. It's not totally impossible, but yeah, an unlikely one. Nor can it be Irish egg. So maybe the same one that is on the word alive. I agree completely. What is alive? That's a nice one. Alive is a case form other than the nominative. Life preserves the Old English nominative leaf. This one was Old English on leaven. On the life. Where it voiced because it was the F voiced because it was between two vowels. And that voicing is preserved. So the in many of these words, atop, abaft, I suppose, about. That is a weakened form of the pronoun that we also have as on, the stressed form there. Similar to how off and of are strong and weak forms of the same etymon, the same proto-word. Your car. I'm going to use word bank. Dein Auto.
Dan.
Auto.
What is the you doing there in the middle? Is.
Is.
Dart.
Among. Yeah, I think so. Enough is something different. Let's look at among. That could be also yamang, the GE prefix. Equivalent to and then mong, crowd, group, throng. Mong means throng. Dialectal German Mann, not Saterland Frisian Monk, Munken, among monkeys. And this from on, right? In the crowd, or on the crowd, would be among. Do you know this one? Akimbo? That one could be a different Here, this says Middle English up, out, away, from Old English ar, or, from Proto-Germanic uz. So a different there, apparently. Oh, that's etymology 1. And then you have proclitic form of on. Etymology 3, variant of e or y, from Indo-European kyom, from Germanic ga, from kyom. Or it could be from Anglo-Norman a, from Old French e, from Latin x, abash. Ancient Greek a, amoral, asymmetry, atheism, and so on. And we've got finally ad, of Latin, meaning toward. Ascend, aspire, amass, abandon, avenue. Arms akimbo, hands on hips, exactly. Kimbo is a fusion of keen bow in Middle English, and a prepositional one. That's the only phrase that I believe it's used in this word. In keen bow, in a sharp bend, so this elbow shape. Alternately, possibly from Old Norse keng, bogi. Compare Icelandic kenbogin, keng, bogin, bow bend. Cool. Also a cool source of word. Love it. Okay, I think I might do an Icelandic. No, that's not up, if that is ever coming. Norwegian is pretty close, in that family of languages. If I can find it. There we go.
En lampe.
Hva leter dere etter?
Hva leter dere etter?
Etter.
Oh, after, with assimilation. What do they leave behind? What are you looking for? Leter. Dere.
Dere.
You yourself.
Leter. Leter.
What search you after? What are you looking for?
Speilet henger under lampen.
Speile. Looks like it means the mirror. Hang.
Henger.
Under the lamp. Both of these definite belong to separate classes. Speile henger under lampen. Yeah, so German der Spiegel masculine, but neuter in Norse. From Latin, speculum, a looking tool. Henger.
Lampen. Speilet henger under lampen.
Speile henger under lampen.
Bortenfor restauranten.
Bortenfor restauranten.
Bortenfor.
Past the restaurant.
Huset vårt ligger nær grensen.
Vårt. Our, coming after it. Our house. With the
Huset.
Here. Ligger nær grensen is near the border. Our house is close to. Nær.
Nær.
Nær. Like near. Grensen. Die Grenze. German. Definite.
Lekeplassen ligger bortenfor kafeen.
Lekeplassen ligger.
Ligger.
Lies.
Bortenfor.
For. Kafeen.
Kafeen. Lekeplassen ligger bortenfor kafeen.
For kafeen.
Hvor utgangen?
Where is the exit? Hvor utgangen?
Hvor utgangen?
Vi løper herfra.
Vi løper herfra. We run from here from. So a postposition there, that fra.
Vi leter etter utgangen.
Vi leter etter utgangen. We're looking for the exit. Vi leter etter utgangen.
Hestene står nær gjerdet.
Nær gjerdet. Gjerd, is that a garden?
Gjerdet.
Fence. An enclosure, the literal enclosing part of it. Can you describe what is going on with the intonation that makes it sound so distinct?
Hestene står nær gjerdet.
So I perceive that the word final syllables tend to be unaccented
Står.
and tonally high. Hestene.
Hestene står nær gjerdet.
Står, drawn out over two mori.
Hestene.
Står and an upstep. Nær.
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 Gjerdet.
Gjerde.
Gjerdet.
Falling one on
Gjerdet.
the tonic syllable, but then a clear upstep to the weak final.
Hestene står nær gjerdet.
Står nær gjerde. Hestene, the horses, are standing near the
Gjerdet.
Hestene står nær gjerdet.
Lampen henger over bordet.
Lampen henger over bordet.
Lampen henger over bordet.
Henger over bordet when it's linked together in a phrase.
Lampen henger over bordet.
Lampen henger over bordet. Over the table. A lamp hangs over the table. Lampen henger over bordet.
Bassenget bortenfor huset.
Bassenget, the tub, bassin, the basin. Is bortenfor huset, beyond the house. The pool, the bassin, is beyond, above it, beyond the house. Huset. Bassenget.
Bassenget bortenfor. Bassenget bortenfor huset.
Bortenfor huset. Bassenget bortenfor huset.
Jeg kommer herfra.
Jeg kommer herfra. Jeg kommer herfra. So for each word, try to get that upstep tonal shape. Jeg kommer herfra. Herfra. I come here from. I love it.
Foreldrene dine leter etter deg.
With the following word, thine. Four elders, thine. Leter etter deg are looking for you. Your parents are looking for you. Nice compound. Unlike our word from Latin,
Foreldrene.
root for the word for parents.
Står dere nær utgangen?
Står dere, are you standing nær utgangen? Near the exit. Står dere nær utgangen? Nær.
Lampen henger over bordet.
Henger over. The is shown by the
Bordet. Jeg leter etter en restaurant.
Looking for a restaurant. Jeg leter etter en restaurant.
Hvor er utgangen?
Hvor er utgangen? We run from here. Vi løper
Vi løper
herfra.
herfra.
Herfra. Vi løper herfra. So the tone is high on the second one, and also that vowel mid-vowel raised to e. Løper. Vi løper herfra. Beyond the store. Bortenfor.
Bortenfor. Butikken.
Butikken from French. Butikken. Why not?
Et kjøleskap.
Kjøleskap. The cold ship. The cool ship. So skap, I think, is like the landscape, that final one.
En vegg.
Vegg, a wall.
En lampe.
Lampe. This one has not that high tone, light soul, but lampe, falling one there.
En vegg.
Vegg.
Et kjøleskap.
Kjøleskap.
Bjørnen setter seg på bakken.
Sits self upon the cheek.
Bakken.
The ground. Bjørn. So it's reduced.
Bjørnen.
Bjørn. There's no distinct S sound, as in German too.
Bjørnen.
In a weak position like that. Bjørn is a long N. Setter.
Bjørnen setter seg på bakken.
Setter seg would be setter if it was
Setter.
verb on its own, but setter seg with a phrase there. Sits itself.
Seg.
Sich. Upon the ground. På bakken. The bear sits on the ground.
Mannen setter en stol ved vinduet.
Mannen, the man, setter
Mannen setter en stol ved vinduet. Stol. Ved.
vinduet.
Vinduet.
The window. With the window. So against or near.
Mannen setter en stol ved vinduet.
Man sets a chair near the window. I think. Puts a chair by the window. So setter, we have our verb set, and set is a causative of sit.
Vi leser derfra til litt.
How does that come about, by the way? So English has intransitive vi, to sit. Intransitive, something you do to another entity, so you set it in a place. Well, this one probably comes maybe with some remodeling of the word over time, but it's like sedity. Root sed, third person ending to stand for the whole paradigm. Whereas set would have had O grade here. This is another important use of O grade Levi in a causative root with suffix eye. Eye or oya maybe? Eye is probably best. So deity. Maybe, yeah, not sure where to segment this best. Maybe a eti. But in Sanskrit grammar, it's regarded as, well, actually, if we're going to go with Sanskrit, it would be like that. Sedeti is the intransitive one, just the root with no derivative suffix. But if you add this eye causative suffix, I think that'll be accented too. You get this deflected grade, or O grade, so change in the vowel quality, so deity, meaning cause to sit. Something one entity does to another. So deity, to set a thing means to cause it to sit. And English has others too, fall and fell, that go back to this older Indo-European pattern. That's why you get set from umlaut here, would give us sud or something, becoming set, or yeah, something like that anyway. What is this preposition på? It means upon. What do you think of that? Remember that our word in Scandinavian languages gives e, so a final n is prone to drop there. In that word class, vi leser derfra til deg.
Vi leser derfra til litt.
Til ditt, till here.
Dit.
There. Thither. Dit. We read from there to there. From here to there. We read from here to there. Vi leser
Vi leser derfra til litt.
derfra til ditt.
Barna leker innenfor gjerdet.
Within the fence. Innenfor. Child plays. The children. The verb doesn't.
Barna.
Barna. Definite correct. The children. Neuter, I believe. Leker. Play. Inside the fence. Peter says, lie and lay are another like that, sit and set. I always mess those up because apparently lay is also the past tense of lie. That is correct. Yeah. The English verbs go intransitive, lie, base form, past tense lay. I have lain here for 2 hours, participle. And the transitive verb is lay, base form, laid, laid. Do you ever spell it A-Y-E-D? This is probably best. So this lay is what we call a regular verb, D for both past tense and participle. Well, lie has a bit more going on. So you have this homophony. That's one thing that causes the confusion. Many speakers will use lay. I think it's more and more widespread in America. Lay for the intransitive.
Hva har vi I kjøleskapet?
There, let's look at the Indo-European forms. Lie from something like legieti, maybe? I'm not sure about the details. It's going to be hypothetical. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But something in this ballpark. Lidjan, I think, in Old English. CG writes a J. I'm putting Indo-European first. And then this one would have been something like, oh, great of that, Logaiety. Hva har vi I kjøleskapet?
I
In
kjøleskapet. Kjøleskapet.
refrigerator. What do we
Har.
have in the fridge? Hva har vi I kjøleskapet? Yeah, fall and fell. Fill is in the same family. No, not that same family. Fill is due to, oh no, Fuljene.
Det 5 innganger. 5.
5 ingoings, entrances. Det we say there are. Fem from fünf, we get 5, and then entrance. Use a French word. Probably people say lay for intransitive because they don't want to accidentally say lie. That's right. You got to avoid the word meaning. Tell untruths. Very true. Similar with drunk, that paradigm is distorted. There's another good reason too. You don't want to say. It's just better not to say drunk because that sounds like moral condemnation. So people are motivated to use drank, the past, or preterite form, instead of the participle.
Han venter ved inngangen.
Venter ved inngangen.
Venter.
Waiting, that's an interesting one. He waits. Ved, with, near. Inngangen, definite, near the entrance.
Vi leser derfra til ditt.
Derfra, from there, till there. Vi leser derfra til ditt. Derfra.
Mannen setter en stol ved vinduet.
Man sets a chair by the window.
Barna leker innenfor gjerdet.
The children are playing within the fence. Barna leker innenfor gjerdet. Leker.
Bildet henger over kjøleskapet.
Bildet henger over kjøleskapet. Picture is hanging over the fridge.
Hundene kommer derfra.
The dogs come from there. Hundene kommer derfra. Derfra.
Jeg hører noe innenfor døren.
I hear something within the door, inside.
Døren.
Something inside the door is just bad. No thanks.
Innenfor grensene.
Within the border. Innenfor grensene. Okay.
Hva har vi I kjøleskapet?
What do we have in the fridge? Hva har vi? What have we? I kjøleskapet.
Vi står ved inngangen.
Står ved inngangen. We are standing near the entrance. Vi står ved inngangen. Servitøren sitter. He's not sitting, he's setting the food upon the table. Ah, there was pua is a shortening of the compound preposition upon. Uppa, uppo, probably for first. Here's my guess for the source of pua, which is a, and that circle above it means upon. So, uppa, I think, on Indo-European for the first part, and then ana for the second. Uppo, it should be, not uppa. I don't think that's it. Uppo plus ano, maybe. Ano, Anna. Let's see. Pua. So, go to a Norwegian one here. That's the first N, the only N language. Pua. Comes from up, au in Old Norse. Up from oof, Proto-Germanic up, which comes from ubani or upai, from earlier ub, from upo. So Latin sub there, Greek hupo, Sanskrit upa are the cognates there, and with the a, upa, ow. Not the water word, many words spelled this way. This is on, which comes from Germanic ana. Okay, so yeah, upa ana is close to, is just pre-Germanic, probably. Something like that. Ufana. Wait, no. Why is it P, though? It should be an F and then a V or something. Scandalous. What's going on here? Kronenhus. Alright. We just crossed. What dialect do they teach in Norwegian here? Bokmål. Yeah, it's the literary one. The other one is called Nynorsk. New Norwegian.
Det 5 innganger.
There are 5 entrances. Det er 5 innganger. 5.
Hun derfra?
Is she from there? Hun derfra? Derfra? Not wrong.
Bildet henger over kjøleskapet.
Picture. Let's see if I like it. Hangs above the refrigerator.
Jeg hører noe innenfor døren.
Something inside the door. Jeg hører noe, something, innenfor, inside døren.
Innenfor grensene.
The borders, innenfor grensene.
Hun derfra?
Hun derfra? Derfra?
Hun derfra?
Haha. Alright, maybe. That's cool. There we got the full golden ring. Lovely. Let's end it on an Esperanto unit. Whimsical ending. And then rest our eyes for another day of battle tomorrow.
Nenies manĝoj estas pretaj.
Yes, none of. Genitive. No one's possessive. Manjo and meals. What's that, Levi? What's manjo? Estas pretai are ready. Manjoy. So some people will write, I think, GH. Others use an X to modify a letter like that. So GXOJ is one way of spelling that in Esperanto. That's QWERTY friendly, because these characters are pretty hard.
Manjoy.
So yeah, this was invented before the digital age, and no other language uses this accent shape on a consonant that I know of.
Ĉies manĝo estas sur tiu ĉi granda tablo.
Pinyin uses it for vowel modifier.
Ĉies manĝo estas sur tiu ĉi granda tablo.
Oh, everyone's manjo meal. Estas is sur tiu mangioi is mangiare. Oh yeah, I guess more Italian really than French. But nominalized, yeah, mangio. The eating, the chewing actually. Is meal sur this everyone's meal is estas
Estas.
Chi granda tablo is on this big table.
En mia lando, nur plenkreskuloj rajtas aĉeti vinon.
Nur plenkreskulo. Oh. Plenkreskulo. What do you make of that? En la mia lando, in my country. Nur, only. Plenkreskuloj. Still. In the meantime, let's write kanji here. Still a little fun. Squint. Not quite. No, Esperanto's accent mark is opposite of the pinyin one. Oh, that's right. Plenkreskulo. I see plen as in plenty, full. And kresk from Latin to increase. Crescendo. The fully increased one is the grown-up adults. Only adults raitas aceti vinan. Oh my goodness. Raitas. To buy wine. Aceti ashti.
Accetti.
What do you think about raito? Raitoi. Wait. Raitos. Raitas. So the infinitive would be raiti. Nur plenkreskuloj.
En mia lando, nur plenkreskuloj rajtas aĉeti vinon.
Aceti vinam. My feeling is that it's from English. Raito. Okay, this is borrowed from English, right. So, to have the right, to be allowed to.
Mi volas ĉeesti, sed mi ne havas sufiĉe da tempo.
Esti, attend, be there.
Volas.
Ĉeesti. Mi volas, I want to. Ĉeesti, be there or attend. Sed, but. Mi ne havas, I don't have. Sufiĉe adverbial, sufficiently of time, enough time. I don't have enough time.
Viro estas persono.
Viro, a man, estas persono.
Ĉu ni ĉeestu la junularan kongreson en Germanio?
Ni ĉeestu. That's don't have sufficient tempo, indeed. The weather is not enough. Not enough ice in the weather. Junularan, the Youth Congress in Germany. Ĉu ni, nu, will we, shall we. Ĉu ni ĉeestu, okay, that's supposing shall we, or prospective one. The Youth Congress en Germanio.
Ĉu via amiko estas vegano?
Your friend, vegan. Ĉu, yes or no? Your friend, via amiko, estas vegano.
Mia filo diris, ke li ŝatus jam esti plenkreskulo.
Mia filo, my son, diris. Said, yeah, dire from French. Que li, that, complementizer. Que li shatus, that he would like. Oh, we saw an oo ending. I wonder if that was a mistake for us. Li shatus yam already. Esti, to be. Plen cresculo, noun form, an adult. Son said that, oh, I forgot this, he would like to already be an adult, already. Right.
Mia cara roboto, kiel vi fartas?
Dear robot, kiel, how? This is fahren, die Fahrt in German. How are you?
Kies roboto manĝis mian kukon?
Jeez, whose robot ate mian kukon?
Mia kukon.
Is your friend ĉu via amiko? Is vegan? Estas vegano. Ĉu via amiko estas vegano?
Mia edzo estas ĉies amiko.
Edzo, my husband, is ĉies, everyone's amico friend. Nobody's meal. Nenies manĝo estas preta. In my country, en mia lando, only adults, nur plenkreskuloj, are allowed to buy wine. Raitas aĉeti vinon. Okay, this year's Esperanto Congress will be in Belfast. Next year's Montreal, and after that, Turin. Good to know. Montreal, no T pronounced. That might be a good time. My husband, mia edzo estas ĉies amiko. Shall we attend? Ĉu ni ĉeestu? The Youth Congress in Germany. La Junularan Kongreson en Germanio. Vegans, veganoj ne manĝas viandon. Is it a robot? Ĉu ĝi estas roboto? Aŭ vera persono? A man is a person. Viro estas persono. I am nobody's. Mi estas nenies malamiko. Nenies.
Mia filo diris, ke li ŝatus jam esti plenkreskulo.
My son said that he would like ŝatis jam esti plenkreskulo. Like to already be an adult. Alright, thank you everyone for joining. Enjoy the Esperanto Congresses that you go to, and I'll see you next time.